Hello, I'm Ryan Seacrest here with legendary band No Doubt. We're about to world premiere their brand new music video, Settle Down. But first things first, it's been a decade since you recorded an album together in the studio. So individually and as a band, how have you guys been, all of you?
We're great. We like each other still. It's weird.
We do. We do.
We're good. We hang out all the time. We've been together all this time. It hasn't been a real break for us. I mean, if we do anything outside the band's there. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like it's a separate these are friends. We are all friends.
What do you do when you're together? You hang out with your families?
Well, a lot of children have been born in the last decade. There are 9 kids between the band, and the oldest is 10. So there's been a lot of time, you know, hanging out with the kids together and doing family stuff and works and, yeah.
Who will end up with the most kids?
Ooh.
Who's winning now?
Tom's winning.
I got 3.
I think he's going to have another one.
3 more. I got time.
Adrian, what's the transition like going from sort of being relatively out of the spotlight as a band to now being back in the...
You know, I notice it more through my kids' eyes because I have the oldest child, and so, you know, as the attention comes back to No Doubt and less on being a suburban father, that's when I realize, oh, wow, yeah, that's right, I'm in this pretty huge band.
When you're suburban, are you wearing that?
Some days.
Is that carpool?
Not on back to school night. There's a lot of hats in my closet for that, but yeah, it's an extreme, and sometimes it's a totally different world.
Does that affect the way that the band works?
Totally, especially for me, I think, because I would be mom like all morning, all day, and do all my other stuff, and then show up at the studio at Tony's at like 4 in the afternoon and try to like write something, and nothing happens before it gets dark, and then stay up all night and then do it all over again. We would only get together like 3 times a week because I have to take care of the kids too. There's only so much time we could put into it, and it was really like drawn out.
You know, in the past, we maybe had the luxury of more time together. So you write 30 songs and you pick the best 12. This time, it's like, we've got to do this. We've got to get this song done. So we would focus on a song sometimes for weeks and get like the chorus months. I was trying to be nice and try to get like this verse as good as the chorus. You know what I mean? And so it was a different process as far as songwriting goes.
Tony, what was the real moment, the impetus to saying, all right, we're going to go do this again?
One thing is, even though 10 years passed by, we were still seeing each other all the time, like with, you know, kids' birthday parties and hanging out. And so it never felt like we were that far apart. Mm-hmm. And
we always planned to do it. We were never going to...
That's the other thing, too.
It was never going to not happen. It always was going to happen.
Right. So. And then in 2007, Gwen was on tour, and we got on stage and played some songs together. And the reaction was so incredible, and we're like, okay, here we go. This is the start of the new cycle.
So it was the fans then. It was the reaction. It was the energy from them.
I think that, like I said, like there was a lot that happened. We said, okay, we're going to take a break after Rocksteady. We'd never in our whole, since we were 17, ever take any time off. So then I was like, ooh, I'm going to make a dance record. It was one of those things. It was so inspired. Like, it was this domino effect. It just kept going and going, and I was so into it, and I decided to go on tour. Then I got pregnant with Kingston, like, in rehearsal. So I went on tour until I was...
That's when it happened?
Yeah.
In rehearsal?
And I literally had to be on stage till I was, like, 4.5 months pregnant. I really felt like I had nothing left to give. Like, there was so much creation that had happened in the last years that I was like, I can't write. And I really tried, and... So I said, let me just have the baby. And so I had the baby. I said, we started writing again, nothing. So I said, let's just go on tour and have fun and get inspired. And going on tour, that tour was just like the most incredible No Doubt tour we ever did.
It was just like, it was a spark that it was so incredible. On stage together with your family, to get up there again just got us reinvigorated.
We didn't have a single out. We were playing for like, I don't know, 17,000 people a night. It was insane. We had all our babies. I had a new baby. I had 2. It was really hard, but it was really fun. And then we got home from that and we wrote our first song. And then we just wrote for a year, and now...
So much was happening personally, but was it frustrating professionally because there was so much other focus and so many other things to suck up that creativity or that energy?
For me, it was frustrating because I wanted to do it so bad, and I felt like I was so torn with being a new mom and a wife and all these things that I had to do. Yeah, and it was, how am I gonna get this out of me? Like, what am I gonna write about? And it was like, But these guys were amazing because it was so great to be able to be so comfortable, and they're so understanding, and they were like, no, it's going to work, it's going to happen, and you're going to get it. And even nights when I feel like I failed because I would leave the kids to go work, and so I'm missing that, and then I'd you guys, and nothing was happening, and I'm not writing anything good, and then I lose this whole time, and everyone loses, and I'm like, ah, you know? So there was a lot of pressure in that way.
There was, but, you know, we found out, like, that night you felt like you didn't get anything done. You listen back to it a couple days later, and you're like, oh, my God, this is a great idea. This is the start of a great song. But the thing about songs, especially between us, is that it just has to be right. We can't rush it. It's a process for us, and that's, you know, and we know when it's right. And we had to get to that point. November of 2009 is when we wrote our first song. We're like, okay, this is going to work. This is going to be okay.
Well, Tom, talk about the first time you guys were back in the studio together. What was that like?
Well, there were stages. We got into the studio and started piecing together the songs. And it really, you know, the demos of the early songs were pretty skeletal and simple, and so we had to figure out how these songs were going to work as a band.
It's very like freestyle. It's like, okay, let's try this keyboard idea. And, you know, we don't really play keyboards that well, but we're like, okay, let's try this. And we thing, you know, and you pick what sounds great. And when you get into the rehearsal, you're like, okay, now let's make this sound great live as a band. And the first time that we play every one of those songs could be the most horrible sound that you've ever heard to have.
Fart sound better than that.
It's pretty bad, yeah. But, you know.
Why is that?
Because you're just trying to feel out your parts, like, am I going to play bass, or am I going to jump to the keyboard bass here? And it's such a different thing of playing it in the studio versus playing it for live, you know, for a live performance.
One of the things I love about working with these guys, everyone has this really high bar for quality. You know, it's quality control. If this isn't great, if this chorus isn't great, let's throw it out and rewrite it. Let's make this better and not let anything through that's mediocre.
You guys obviously have been living with the songs for a long time. Do you set expectations?
Honestly, it's like we're doing it for ourselves. It's very selfish, you know? We just do it because of the process of making it, you know? And then as far as sharing the music, I feel super excited about that. And I just think it's such a gift, you know, to be able to have music that you made and then have people like it and share it. And then when you do it live and you actually see the people that supported you and gave you the life that you have, that's where it all seems real.
How would you describe the point of view of Push and Shove then?
The record is really upbeat. All our records are kind of like this fruit salad of sound, like tons of different, like it all mixes in there, and it has that kind of 80s feel, but it also has a bit of the ska thing that we, you know, the DNA of who we are, and it also feels, I think, very now. So it's really exciting now. It's getting so close to sharing it, and I know how many times I've listened to this record in my car, like driving and loving it. So I think those people that are waiting they're in for some special ear candy.
Well, stick around. When we come back, we will world premiere the new music video from No Doubt, Settle Down, coming up. Welcome back. It's Ryan Seacrest here with Tony, Gwen, Tom, and Adrian, known as supergroup No Doubt. We're about to world premiere Settle Down, their new music video, but first let's talk about the song. Settle Down is the first single, first video. Why is that the first song off the album?
That was a tough choice. It's like choosing a kid. Like, it's so hard to do. Like, that's my favorite kid. You can't really do that. So it was just this collective excitement about it, and it felt like a great first step forward.
I think that song, and a lot of the record, is just about overwhelmed by so much going on and how to balance all of it. And that particular song is sort of like, no, I'm cool, I'm cool, I'm cool. No, I'm not cool. You know, it's like, I think just being about overwhelmed.
Well, Tony, what was the concept going in when you said, okay, here's what we're thinking?
It was just this idea of all of us meeting at this undisclosed crazy location and getting back together as a band and playing a show.
It looked like you had fun making the video.
We did, yeah. We brought Sophie Muller back, who's collaborated with us tons of times. I think she was able to capture that emotion of like how we feel about each other, you know, getting back together and making music again.
Yeah, it's like great dancers that were actually just, you know, they went to the bottom. They weren't just regular dancers.
Tony hated that assignment.
No, I didn't do it. No. Yeah, it hasn't been any clubs for me in a while. Yeah, Sophie went out with Fatima, the choreographer, and they went to a Jamaican club, and they're like, you, do you want to be in the No Doubt video? And those guys look incredible.
Yeah, and they made it so fun the night of, because they were really doing it, you know. Tony had do this kind of country line dance, and it came to life.
They did, yeah.
And
it was super surreal and weird in the middle of nowhere, and people are dancing.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Let's let everybody take a look at it. We've got the world premiere of Settle Down. Why don't you do the honors and introduce it?
This is Tom Dumont.
Hi, this is Adrian Young.
This is Mr. Tony Canal.
This is Gwen Stefani.
And you are about to watch our brand new video, Settle Down, right now.
What goes through your minds when you watch the finished product?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe I stayed up 2 nights in a row. Wow, that was crazy.
That's true.
Just felt very real, like we were actually doing it. It was really fun, yeah.
It was cool.
When we come back, an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at No Doubt rehearsing, and also, if they want, they'll answer a few more questions after the break.
Nothing like that. The verses?
What about the Black Beauty? Have you used that one?
All right, let's do it.
Okay, whatever, check it out. This is a new single, Settle Down. Get in line and settle down. Yeah, in line, settle down. What's your 20? Where's your brain? Check it in to check you out. Concern about your whereabouts. Copy that. Acting strange. So tell me what is going on. It's so heavy up there.
Welcome back to our E! Entertainment special, No Doubt Settle Down. What do you think is the secret, if there is any, to the formula you guys have created?
I don't think there's a secret to it, but I know one thing, that we never planned on success. It's not the goal. The goal was, let's get together on Thursday and Sunday. I'm gonna ask my dad for $5 so I can rent a mic, and we're gonna like jam and have fun. So when Just a Girl got on the radio, that was like, it was like a miracle, you know? And like, I don't know what was better, the first 9 years before the commercial success, or, you know, after that, because they had their own really amazing things about them, you know?
It's been like a marriage, you know. It's like, you know, I'm married to my wife and these three, and without, you know.
Let's just leave it there and see.
And it gets interesting at times. No, but without, you know, some sort of level, it just doesn't work. And we've all seen so many bands fall apart. And I'm really proud of all of us for, you know, sticking it out. It's not always easy, but we're so committed to this and to each other.
I feel like we've grown up together in a way. We were in the garage together for years. We lived in buses together on tour for years. We've lived in studios together. It's family, and there is a lot of humor. We do have fun together. These are kind of my best friends, really.
Kinda?
That's weird.
Besides your other band.
That's like just kind of putting it in.
These are my best friends.
All right.
There you see the relationship right there.
We're about to go to New York for some shows. I don't want to fly together, because then, like, if Tom's in the seat in front of me, I could, like, kick his seat, you know what I mean? Like, you can do...
Just like the good old days.
It's just like the good old days.
The only difference is now you may travel with a few babysitters.
Yes.
A lot of them.
A lot of them.
Yeah.
And Adrian, what's next for No Doubt?
What's next is we're going to do a lot of promotion for the rest of the year. TV shows, start playing these songs live. Next year, take our show on tour.
So there will be a tour next year. Exciting. Good news for everybody watching. Is there any sort of message or thought you'd have for the fans as we say goodbye?
Well, I think that, you know, one thing that we've always prided ourselves on is playing live, and I think that we're all super excited to play these new songs live and, you know, just pour our energy into the new songs, and hopefully the fans will love them as much as we do.
Well said. Yeah, thank you for everyone's patience, you know. We're so appreciative of being able to still do this so many years later. We're having so much fun doing it.
Well, welcome back. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thanks.
See you. No Doubt, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Thanks for watching No It's Settle Down Special right here on E! Great to see you all. Thank you very much again. Appreciate it. Continued success.
Thank you.
We're going to take one more look at the video on our way out. Thanks for watching.